Emor, ideas in the realm of Gematria from the Parshah and for the Geulah. And today is Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the Omer, and it's customary to, when people don't take a haircut for a certain amount of time, to get haircuts on this day or after this day. And there's an interesting reference in the Parshah that says that the Kohen should not let his hair grow long. A Kohen had to have his hair cut every 30 days or something like that. It had to be always neat. So there's an interesting, I usually don't get my hair cut this short, but this is just how it was. So anyway, the ideas in the realm of Gematria from the Parshah for the Geulah, for the redemption. This is Article 31, because Emor is the 31st Parshah, starting from Bereshis. And okay, this week's Parshah of Emor starts with commandments concerning Kohanim, priests, and then later on in the Parshah we read all about the Moadim of Hashem, the Chagim, the holy days of the year, starting with Pesach, Passover, and we read about the counting of the Omer, as this portion always occurs during the Omer time that we are in right now. It's an interesting little cute thing that Emor in English is the exact same letters as Omer, so it's interesting that the Omer comes out in Parshas Emor. But at any rate, we read about the festival at the end of 50 days, which we know as Shavuos, and the first day of the 7th month, which is the Torah calls it Zichron Trua, which we now call, of course, Rosh Hashanah, and the 10th day of the 7th month, which we know as Yom Kippur, and of course the festival of Sukkot, which starts on the 15th day of the 7th month, and it lasts for 7 days, according to the Torah. If we pay attention to these festivals, they start with the first one being Pesach, Passover, and all of the rest seem to circle around the central event of the Exodus of Egypt. It is mentioned in the Kiddush that we say on Friday nights and Yom Tov nights, Zecher li'Yetzias Mitzrayim. Everything is to commemorate all of these festivals, and all of our Jewish life really is to commemorate the leaving of Egypt. The first month of the Jewish calendar, which is Nisan, is the month of Pesach, and we always reference this Exodus of Egypt, which happened in this month. Commemorating freedom from slavery in Egypt and leaving Egypt is so central to our faith. But how did we, as a people, get to Egypt in the first place? It really all goes back to when Yosef was thrown into the pit by his brothers at the suggestion of Reuven, then sold to Ishmaelites who brought him to Egypt, then the famine, then his brothers, and then eventually his father came to Egypt. And then after that, the entire family, the 70 souls, moved to Egypt, as the Torah states. Joseph's being thrown into the pit was actually Reuven's plan to save him. In fact, the Torah tells us that when the brothers wanted to kill Joseph, it was Reuven who intervened, as we see in the Torah. V'yishma Reuven v'yetzileo mi'adam v'yomer lo nakenu nefesh. I think it's nefesh. It might be nafesh. But Reuven heard and saved him from their hands, and he said, "Let us not deal him a deadly blow." Genesis 37:21. Vayomer alihem Reuven al tishbechu dam hashlichu oso el habor hazeh asher b'midbar v'yad al tishlechu bo l'ma'an hitzil mi'adam lehashivo el aviv. And Reuven said to them, "Do not shed blood. Cast him into this pit, which is in the desert, but do not lay a hand upon him, in order to save him from their hands, to return him to his father." Genesis 37:22. So all of our holy days, Chagim, Moadim, that center around leaving Egypt ultimately come from Reuven's altruistic yet unsuccessful attempt at saving Joseph by throwing him in the pit. In Gematria, the name of our Parshah, Emor, has a numerical value of 241, and the words of the verse, the exact words of the verse about Reuven saving Joseph from his brothers, Vayatzilehu mi'adam, has a numerical value of exactly 241. Happy Lag BaOmer, and have a great Shabbos.